Hello, today we'll be painting this watercolor of a sunrise in the mountains with some trees. You'll need watercolors, a cup of water, brushes, a paper towel, and a white sheet of paper. To begin, wet your brush. We'll first start with yellow. In the center of your page, start painting horizontally. Remember to keep your brush wet and continue to blend upwards. This gradient from dark yellow to super duper light yellow should continue from the center to the very top of the page. By making the top of the page wet, it'll be easier to blend in the red and make a really pretty gradient orange. Next, switch to the red. We'll be doing the same thing we did with the yellow, just from top to bottom. You can keep it a super perfect gradient, or you can add some texture. I'm adding some orange into the center to add some cloud-like texture. Remember to blend your colors in. Next, I will be mixing a little bit of blue with some red to create a purple. I'm adding this to the top corners and blending it down. You may need to do multiple washes to get the opacity you want. Afterwards, I'm adding red under the purple and blending the two together. Then I use some water and yellow to blend the red into the yellow. Now I'm taking my lighter shade of blue. If you don't have two shades of blue, that's okay. Overlapping the yellow, I will first paint a line of blue for my first set of mountains, and then blend that downwards. Once you're happy with your gradient, let that dry for a couple minutes before we do our next mountain range. I'm switching to my darker shade of blue and doing another mountain range. This time, instead of mostly horizontal, I'm angling it downwards. And then blend it downwards into a gradient. Let it dry for a few minutes. For the next mountain, I will be mixing blue and a little bit of black. Just like with the other mountains, paint a line and then blend downwards. Now I will be adding another wash of color to each of the mountains because I want my colors to be a little bit more opaque, but you don't have to do that. I'm also adding another wash of color to the sky because I want my colors to be a little bit more saturated, but that's entirely up to you. Especially if your paper is getting a little wrinkly or falling apart, I would recommend against going for too many layers of water. Now let that dry for a couple minutes before we start on our trees. For the trees, we will be switching to our thin brush. With the black watercolor, start by painting lines where you want each tree to be. I will be painting 4 trees, one that's super tall, one that's medium sized, and 2 that are smaller. However, you can paint as many or as little trees as you want. Next, I will be adding the branches and needles on the pine trees. As you go further down the trees, the branches will get longer. Paint short little strokes. Continue doing the same thing for each tree. A good thing to remember is that nature isn't perfect, so not all your trees have to be completely uniform in branch size and shapes. Touch up the trees as needed. And that's it. Congratulations, you finished your watercolor painting. You did a great job, and remember to be creative. I hope you had a fun and relaxing time. Have a good day, and thank you for watching.